In the fall of 2016, the 6th grade math teachers at Tippett Middle School were asked to pilot a blended learning classroom. We are those teachers, and here is what has become of that. The first question we had to answer was, what is blended learning? To us, blended learning is using technology as an instructional resource. In traditional classrooms, the teacher was solely responsible for standing up in front of the room and providing instruction to students. There was little time to interact with students on an individual basis, and students had no control over what they were learning. They were completely dependent on the teacher. The blended learning model is much different. By using technology to provide instruction, teachers are now free to meet with small groups of students and assess individual needs. Students are required to take ownership of their learning by controlling the pace at which they learn. Here's what it looks like. At the beginning of a unit, students take an online pretest. Based on their answers, they fill out a tracking chart to determine their mastery of a particular topic. As you can see, each topic is broken down into identified skills. So if a student was able to answer all questions using that skill correctly, they are considered green. They have shown mastery, which allows them to skip over the instruction for this skill. If they got 2 out of 3 correct, then they are yellow. They have some understanding, but still need some review of the topic. If a student has only 1 or 0 answers correct, then they are red. This is a new topic for them and they need to be taught it. Their goal by the end of the unit is to show mastery in each topic and be green in every category. This tracking chart acts as a guide through the unit, showing what tasks need to be completed and when they are due. It's also a place to keep track of their grades. During class, students are divided into small groups that will be rotated through stations throughout the week. One group will meet with the teacher to go over the new material. This is a chance for teachers to see how individual students are doing and provides a safe place for students to participate and ask questions. A second group will be given a task to perform. This could be a type of board game or scavenger hunt, or maybe a set of task cards to be answered. The advantage of this station is students get to work cooperatively to complete the task. Students learn to work together and share what they know. This is also a station the teacher can use to review past material that is not quite mastered or that needs to be kept current. The last station assigns students to a computer to work on their notes and homework. This is where technology is used to instruct and assess learning. The program we use is called Schoology.com. Students log on, go to the unit they are working on, and based on their tracking chart, pick the topic they need to complete. We call these topics stops. Sometimes larger stops are broken down into smaller topics we call pit stops. So the assignment made on Monday night might be to finish stops 1 through 3 by Friday. Students are first required to watch a video created by one of us and complete guided notes on the topic. They have the ability to pause and rewind the video as often as necessary. There are also additional optional resources within each stop that students may choose to review. These resources might include a link to another video taught by someone else or some type of practice game. When they are ready, then they take an online quiz also created by us about the topic. Upon submission, the quiz is graded for immediate feedback. If the student shows mastery, meaning they have scored 80% or better on the quiz, then they may move on to the next stop. If they scored less than an 80%, then they must retake the quiz until they have shown mastery. They are given up to 3 attempts on the computer, and then after that, they may take a paper quiz. Some students prefer to always use the paper quiz, and that is an option as well. Students are given control over how quickly they progress through stops while maintaining a minimum pace. If they want to work ahead, they can. Some students advance quickly and finish a unit before the class is ready to be tested. Those students are given a more in-depth project about the topic to complete. So why do blended learning? We know the future our students face will look much different than the present we now live in. To prepare for that, technology is a tool they must be familiar with. We tell our students all the time, if they can learn from a video, they can learn anything. They also are in vital need of learning to take responsibility for their own learning and learning how to self-assess. Blended learning allows for both of these to happen. And students love it. Blended learning takes full advantage of what students love, working with their friends in small groups and using technology. We also don't waste any class time. As soon as students enter, they know immediately where to go and what to get to work on. It's been beneficial to parents as well. Many have told us how they appreciate the opportunity they have to watch the videos along with their students. By looking at their student's Schoology account, they can also keep track of their child's completed assignments, even looking at problems their child missed on a quiz. When students are sick, they can still keep up because everything they need is online. As teachers, we love the access we now have to work with our students in small groups. I told parents at the beginning of the year that I spent more one-on-one time with my students in the first year of blended learning than I had in the combined 5 years of traditional teaching I had done before. We know our students better. Honestly, we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into when we first started. But to sum it up, here's what we learned. Blended learning. It's the best of both, the new and the old. Small group personalized instruction with the teacher, and technology-driven self-paced tutorials with immediate feedback. While there's still much to learn about blended learning, we can't imagine ever going back.